Welcome to today's video. I'm going to be talking about all the books I am hoping to get through in February. I have been really trying to work on my reading goals this year, and I decided that one of the things I want to do is focus on closing out some series I started before 2025. And I have some library books and some physical TBR books that I wanted to show you what series I'm planning on completing or just making progress in. So we're going to start with the ones I plan to complete. So I read The Thinking Woman's Guide to Real Magic by Emily Croy Barker, I think last year in like April, and I enjoyed it. And this is a duology. So this book is How to Talk to a Goddess and Other Lessons in Real Magic. And this is sort of a portal fantasy where a woman gets pulled into this other land, and I thought the first book was pretty decent, and I was really interested to continue on in the series, and I still vaguely remember what happened in that book, and so I want to continue. I remember being interested at where the story was going to go at the end of the first book, so I would like to really prioritize this one and finish up this series. Now, a really easy one that I have is What Feasts at Night by T. Kingfisher. This is the sequel to What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher, which is a Fall of the House of Usher retelling. And this book carries on with one of the characters from that first book. And this is a short novella. It's 150 pages, super easy to get to. When I read What Moves the Dead, I remember sitting down to read like a little bit of it, and then I found myself like finishing the entire book in like one or two sittings. So very easy to get through, and I don't know if she's planning to make any more in this series, so this might be closing it out and finishing it up, or it might just be catching up for now. For this next series, I would like to read the next two books in it to finish it out. So this is the Southern Reach, used to be a trilogy, now it's a series. Southern Reach series by Jeff Vandermeer. So I've read Annihilation and Authority, and I tried listening to Acceptance on audiobook like a year and a half ago, and I DNF'd it so hard because I could not follow what was happening. It jumps a lot of perspectives and timelines, and I was kind of like, maybe I'm done with this series because I bounced off of it so hard. But my friend read Acceptance, and he actually lent me his copy and was like, I think you should try reading it because he thought it was a decent ending. So I'm going to give it a go. And then if I do read that one and enjoy it, I found Absolution at my library. This is one that I don't think anyone really knew he was writing until it was announced, but this is the fourth book in it. It's quite a lot longer than the other books, I think. It's like 430 pages, and I've heard from some people that it's not great, but it does give answers. And I love Jeff Vandermeer's writing. If you haven't read the Born book by him, please go read Born. It's so good. And if you haven't read Annihilation, please read Annihilation. So good. So I'm hoping that I enjoy this and will want to read both books and have a good ending to this series. Next is a book in the 6 Stories series by Matt Wesolowski. This is the fourth book. This is called Beast. Each book in this series follows a podcast where it's like 6 episodes, and it kind of has this podcast format of interview transcripts and the actual podcast host talking. So it usually follows some sort of like creepy event that has happened, and often links to like creepypasta type style stories, like dark internet type stuff, and they are so compulsively readable. Oh my gosh, I read the 6 Stories one on my phone years ago. I got like a NetGalley arc of it, and I loved it. And I find it so hard that I can't really find these books readily available. My libraries don't have them. My bookstores never have them. I never see them used. I bought this one from Thrift Books, and I really want to continue on in the series. There's 2 more after this one. And it's one of those where I know when I pick it up, it's going to be really compelling. Just the structure of the book really draws me in and I don't want to put it down. I just like can't wait to like get to the ending of the podcast and go, okay, what does all this mean? And they're usually a little bit weird, a little bit dark, and I just think they're so much fun. So I'm really looking forward to that one. And then my Buzzwordathon pick, I'm doing the cover challenge for 2025 for Books and Lala's Buzzword Readathon, and I am needing to read something with a skyline, so I picked Gormenghast. This is a book that I have started. The first book is Titus Grown in the Gormenghast series, and I got to page 220 last year. This is over, I started it in January of last year, and then I read a little bit further throughout the year, and then I took a really big break on it, maybe because I was reading Stormlight, but I have like less than 200 pages left to finish out the first book, and I cannot tell you my feelings on this. At times, I love it, and at times, I am bored stiff, and I don't really know how to think about it as a whole, other than I am intrigued at like where this is going. It's very weird. It's just about this place, Gormenghast, and the weird people that are in it, and this boy who's like trying to work up through the ranks of the house to become more powerful, and the characters are really interesting in some ways. It kind of reminds me of something like Spirited Away, where you're kind of in the bathhouse and you're like meeting all these weird things and these weird people and crazy things are happening. And I do want to continue. I'm not sure that I'm going to read the whole entire trilogy. I don't know, but I would like to finish that first novel and then just see where it goes from there. It's definitely something that takes a much slower pace of reading, and so I think I just need to get in the habit of reading it a little at a time. But I would like to finish up that first book, and then I can think about what I want to do with the series next after. So those are all the books that I am reading. I am going to be participating in a readathon this month. I'm going to be participating in the Get a Clue readathon. I believe this is a new readathon, or at least it's the first year I've heard about it. If you have participated in the Amazing Readathon by Bree from Four Paws in a Book, I think that's her channel name. It's very similar to that in that the prompts don't drop until you go through the month, and then prompts drop, and then you have to pick up a book that fits that prompt and you read for it. This readathon is based off of Clue, so at the end of the month, you are working with your team to try to be able to figure out like the murderer and where they did it and what weapon they used. And so you're trying to solve the murder throughout the month by going to the different rooms, reading the prompts, like guessing, and having other teams like tell you whether or not your guesses were right and showing you their card or not. And so it's just like Clue, but you're doing it in a big team, and it sounds really, really fun. So I am going to be playing along with them. I am on the Mr. Green team. If you are looking for a team to join, you can join, and we'll have a lot of fun trying to win the readathon. But I just wanted to shout that out because I think it sounds really fun. It's not something that I can really make a TBR for, so I'm just hoping that within these books there are things that I can read for it, and I'm hoping that these books read quickly so that I can like get through the prompts quickly, and then there's like other random prompts that you can do as well, and it just sounds like a really good time. I'll put links in the description for that readathon below so you can check it out if you're interested, and I hope that if you join, you have a great time whether you are on the winning green team or not. Thanks for watching this video. Let me know down in the comments if you are participating in the Get a Clue readathon. I'd love to know what team you're on. And let me know what you're planning to read in February. I'll talk to you later. Bye.